Hi, well, good day. And we're super excited to be having another featured student of the Command Contour system and family here today, Mr. Rashid Malik. Malik Rashid. Am I have this right?
You do. Very good. Good pronunciation.
Absolutely, man. So let's get right into it. You're a part of the Command Contour family, but before you came to, what was your trading journey like? Where did you start in trading? How did you get involved?
Well, I would have to say initially it first started when I was in high school a long, long time ago.
Oh wow.
And we used to, it was like a magnet school and they had like an economics curriculum, one for home ec, and one for investing. So the goal was to get the students involved in understanding the stock market. And this is before the birth of computers and stuff.
Wow.
Fast forwarding into like the year 2000 and beyond, I began making money full time as a real estate professional and part time as a UPS driver. And I had a friend that was also a UPS driver. God bless his soul because he passed on, but he was the one that kind of showed me how to actually look at the Wall Street Journal with respect to the stock market, and you get to see all the prices of the stocks and the last price and current price, that kind of thing. And he was talking to me about how I was doing everything wrong, because you look at the markets that way based on one perspective, but the correct perspective was you only buy stocks or gravitate to trading stocks based on volume. Um, so that was kind of like the little seed that was planted in my head. And then when I decided to go to a community college and then to university, I learned a lot of things that was totally outside the box. It was kind of like teaching you theories and but no applications or talk about concepts or anything. It's
So what
just
what did you study at the community
bus
college and university?
business management and business administration
Mhm.
was my focus, and I'm glad that I took that path because I wasn't sure what would happen in the future. But all I cared about was getting rich, and real estate was like the vehicle that I selected. And so I started doing that. So 30 years in the business as of last year of April, I decided to listen to a loved one who got me into, the mindset of currency pairs and asked me a bunch of questions. Did I know anything about it? And you can make a ton of money or whatever, whatever. And I'm like, I'll try it. But I didn't know what I was doing. And then I got involved with a company that I won't mention. Yeah, but uh, I'm glad that I discovered what was bad in terms of an education so that I could gravitate to what was the correct way of learning things, and becoming part of the command contour was the better solution for me because I learned how to do things the right way.
So so
And that
what so
and
what was your approach before Command Console? How were you approaching the market?
um based on my gut feeling was telling me that none of this makes sense because I was learning too many different strategies that they were calling strategies that weren't really strategies. They were just indicators. And I was puzzled, and then I got kicked out of the tribe because I had questioned their authority about, well, how in the world can the head and shoulder, actually make me trade successfully like you guys are doing it? And they never could come up with an answer. So I already concluded in my mind that I'm just wasting my time, but it's better than watching TV. Let me see what they're doing and maybe I could make sense of it someday somehow. And when I discovered you, the GOAT, Coach BG, Bally Granville, it was a little bit easier for me to make the mental adjustment, and then to be liberated with your words that indicators are not strategies, indicators that has nothing to do with price movement. It's all about the news. And you referred to the news. Oh, did I mention you talked about the news a lot? So it was kind of easy for me to make the transition because it just felt natural. It felt when I say it feels natural, that means that feeling is saying that this works, and trust your gut. Never go against your gut ever. And so I had to rebuild that discipline. And you were all about discipline. You talked about discipline, how to maintain discipline, what steps we need to take to build confidence. And that's basically looking for the articles. But I took it a step further than that because whenever you teach me something, I'm going to study it. You already know I'm going to put the work in.
Yep.
And one of the things that I did with respect to what I'm talking about is I decided to pretend to be a detective. So my whole approach changed to a different mindset of like, how do I solve this problem of the unknown? And then you gave me a couple of hints or clues by saying, look at that bearish candle, look at that bullish candle. Go back to that date and investigate why the move, went so massive that day.
Exactly, right? We need to
Hmm.
understand why the market is moving. A lot of retail traders never understand why the market is moving. They just say, all right, well, it's broken a support and resistance here, or it's going on a moving average here, or it's doing this Fibonacci or some craziness like that they've learned on YouTube, or they learned from a friend who knows nothing about trading. And it just gives no context to why the market is moving. So go ahead with that bit of information. And how did you use that to your advantage?
Well, I mean, you came out with the special announcement, and I think when I started trying to get plugged in and get on your sessions, this was before, the command contour, because there was a different uh, enterprise that you had created that was a tool. And that tool, I can't remember the name, but it doesn't matter. We got the command contour, which is the upgraded version of what I was previously exposed to. And I basically follow the rules. I followed the rules by listening. I took a few notes so that I would understand what it is I'm looking at um, with respect to the command contour, such as the command contour line. There's a red and a green line, and then you got the fair price line, which is the fuchsia or pink line, but you have to understand how to use it. There's an orange line. That orange line to me, I was familiar and had made myself familiar, with the Ichimoku cloud, because to me that lagging line was the same movement that the orange line on the command contour, which is the dynamic line. I think you referred to it. So I just put the time in to understand each segment, important segment part of the command contour that makes the command contour so special. And then with the combination of, paying attention to our community mood swing and all of those amazing, classmates of ours, were able to participate and post a news article that I missed by accident or didn't even care about because you gave me specific instructions to you in the US, find everything, all the news on the US. So that laser beam focus allowed me to accept the other news that was coming in from the other classmates. And you asked me long ago, why do you trade so many pairs? And I'm like, it's called practice, coach.
I remember, yeah.
And, my goal was to like prove to myself, that the command contour will work on anything, whether you're using it for currency pairs, indices, precious metals, or other commodities like oil. It definitely works. And I actually try to use it on Bitcoin, but Bitcoin, the market is so manipulated. It's the reason why the value is so different. But I digress because currency pairs and becoming a master swing trader, that was your goal to help me get there along with the other students. So I had to shut up and just practice. Yeah, I'm talking about practice.
Okay. Okay. Now, what was one of the biggest eye openers to you when you actually started using and being a part of the Command Contour community? What was one of the biggest eye openers for you and the biggest, I guess, light bulb moment?
Oh, our amazing sessions, whether it's the London session or the New York session, and how you put together the entire package, the command contour, the mood swings, um, the video recorded sections, just in case if you don't have the flexibility to be live on the sessions, all of that help. But the mood swing, I would have to say that's number one, because if you understand the news, I went from not knowing anything to learning how to be an investigator, from being an investigator to solving the question about how can I use this information within the news to monetize it? How do I monetize it, and how can I prosper from using it? I went from that to applying, the training directly we were getting from the New York session along with the London session as to how to use the tool known as the command contour. And it taught me to be patient. So it's a combination of the grit, the know-how, the wanting, the desire, the patience, to watch things play out, investigate to find more news, confirm it based on your skill sets that you may have attained by obviously getting good at marking up the charts, because a lot of retail traders, they mark up the charts first and then they look at the news. We had to, well, I can only speak for myself. I had to forget about the charts and pay attention to the news and follow the news until I got to a place where I was able to be comfortable to say, oh, aha, look at this. They're talking about raising the interest rates. And we're talking about the news. We're not just talking about the news articles and the mood swing. We're also talking about like the calendar that is going to reflect the important news, for the week or for the day, that's going to rock the markets.
Exactly. That's a beautiful point that you make, where the normal retail trader will just open up a chart and stick an indicator on it and hope that it will give them a signal for a direction. Whereas you said you had to come off the charts for a bit and then investigate what is happening fundamentally. And we share that information in the mood swing community. When you investigate, then you're able to now come back on the chat and express your view of what is happening fundamentally.
Mm-hmm.
And that is how to trade.
Well, but there's more. There's
There's
always
more.
more.
There's more.
I'm only, we don't have that much time, because it's limited. But the part that I'm so grateful about as well, in addition to what we've gone over and what you taught me, specifically along with the other classmates, indirectly you're teaching us, to master the skill set of capital management without us knowing really that that's what we're doing. And you do that, from my perspective, this is how you did it for me. As you're going through the sessions and we're talking about the sentiment of the market, we're actually talking about it because we know what the news is going to say and what it said. But those are the opinions of others. The facts are very clear in the articles at times. But when we actually do look at the charts, we also look at the zones. We have to use the command contour to find those important zones. So between you and Coach H, you guys have been tremendous in helping us out with that, setting the alerts for those specific zones for the price to go back to the command contour. What it also did was it gave you the visual idea that the stop loss is necessary. Yeah, well, duh, if you want to protect your capital, you better consider the stop loss. And you taught me to get into the habit of identifying, where that next price line is. That could be the potential stop loss level, when if you're depending on the sentiment of the market and which way that you play it. And then when you look at the bigger picture, we are master traders, and we are like master, money managers too. Before the new affirmations, I mean, the affirmations kind of did something powerful for me that it's an intangible that I can't really, touch on because it's more spiritual, if you will. To the point where my wife is like, when is this going to be real? And I'll just leave it at that, because it has become real for me, based on putting it all together and learning and watching others do the same. And I love it when the others, in our group ask questions, um, because there was a time when I became a new member to the Command Contour. I didn't know what to ask. I was so quiet and silent. I didn't know how to even ask a question. But after I started reading the news and started getting a little bit of more information, and I felt comfortable being educated, on the things that I didn't know how to do, or how to approach, or how to assess whether or not it was going to be good information or bad information, that quickly went away once you came out every single London session, New York session, between you and Coach H. You would help us understand, you got this, you understand it. Now this is how you're going to use it. And that was like the pivotal moment for me, to have tremendous success. And I think the short time that I'm referring to, I think I became a Command Contour subscriber from your recollection. I think you said September. Um, and if
That's
that's the case,
yes.
I've been killing it.
That's 3 months. 3 months.
Yeah. So if that's a fact, and I know that I'm not the only one that's experiencing great results, from all of that wonderful training, because the training is one thing. After the training call, you got to practice. And so I'm going to work really hard no matter what, because I want to get paid massively, like everybody else does. The only difference is I figured out it only makes common sense to read a 3-minute article to make sure that I can secure my future. So I'm not allergic to making money. I didn't know how to do it the right way, but now we do because I'm with the Command Contour family.
That's amazing. Wow, wow, wow. So what does the future look like for you, Malik?
I'm hoping to become one of your coaches, actually, and
Man,
get
well,
the Command Contour for free.
you're putting in the work, man. You're putting in the work. I have no doubt that you could get there for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Because
I
and
talked to one of the
I'm telling you what, for all my students, greater things will they do than I do.
I think so. I mean, and there's enough to go around for everybody, but if you put in the work and you really apply yourself and you understand the basic fundamentals, there's no way you can lose. You're always going to win. You're going to lose when they say you're going to lose some trades and still be more profitable. At first, I didn't understand what that meant. But, you know, going back to that call where he's like, why do you trade so many pairs? I think I was trading 21 pairs at the time. And you were like, that's crazy. And I felt it, but it was for me, it was like, that's part of my training. I thought that's what we're supposed to do. And my goal was to take, 21 trades and get 21 wins. After mastering the Command Contour, I took 21 trades that day and I had only 20 wins and I wasn't satisfied. And so what I did was I went back and figured out what I did wrong and I corrected the mistake. And all it was I didn't look at the news, nor did I look at the indexes, to confirm what was going on. But I made the correction and I took 20 trades and I got 20 wins the very next day. You know, Granted, it was a different market, because today I was expecting it to like go bonkers. Yeah, it's been going sideways all day. So the sentiment, that I'm sharing with you on this incredible interview, thank you for this day. You have taught me how to not only navigate through the market, but to understand the news, to monetize it, to prevent a loss. And the preserving the capital or becoming a money manager, that's one thing, but mastering the money management is the better thing to do. And I decided to do that instead.
That is amazing. Now, the whole idea of money management, how did it shift your approach? Because I know everybody's talking about, I want to be a trader, I want to be a trader, I want to be a trader. But when you start thinking and considering yourself as a money manager, how did that change things for you?
We had some special guests, Mr. Coach Cleveland Bishop, shout out to him. I'm looking forward to the future with that. And Coach H, shout out to him. I'm gonna tell you, you guys are sleeping. If you are not listening to what Coach H has to offer and what he's teaching on a daily basis, he is 1,000, or let me rephrase, he's 1,000,000,000% committed to making everyone be successful, just like Coach BG. Coach, I call you like the architect, you're like the engineer. You on a whole different level. So I knew that the analogy usage that I would refer to right now would be martial arts, because I'm a martial artist since 8 years old. You would be considered like a grandmaster of an art style that you put together based on your dedication and your commitment, and it's not like 1 year. It's pretty much like over 20 years or so or more for you. And the time, the energy, the effort, the sweat, the pain, the successes that you put into this. So you kind of made it easy for us, to pay attention to not the shortcut version, but the truth. And the truth is, the markets have to be approached a certain way, and you have to be patient. And your gut is all about your confidence within yourself. And this magical tool, the command contour, that's part of it. But the other part is you must pay attention to the news. If you don't know the news, Google it. If you don't know what the news article is saying, Google parts of it. You'll figure it out, but you got to do it. And you teaching us how to be successful hunters and fishermen, fishermen. I'll say that, because each one is going to be able to teach someone else the right way. So yeah, I hope I'm in line to be one of your best coaches, because I guarantee you that anyone that you put in my direction that you want me to help get up to speed to understand the way you teach, or the way that Coach H teach, I can get them up to speed in less than an hour, probably like 15, 20 minutes.
Wow, man. Well, I know you've been putting in the work, so I have no doubt. I'm not doubting you at all. I'm not doubting you at all. So, Malik, thank you so much for your time, and I'm really proud of where you've been and the direction that you're going. It's amazing to see the progress. So, I'm really proud to be a part of your journey, and long may it continue.
Thank you. And you too. And please don't stop doing what you're doing. But you have some special announcement I think you wanted to, share with everyone. And, I think you wanted to share with me before you ended this. So I'm all ears, coach. You tell me. I'm enjoying the ride.
No, no, no. That special announcement is gonna come soon, soon. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. Speak to you soon.